Fetcher, 17-yard pickup. Ball on the 42. Intended for Gray Embry.
Depending on the play was
second down.
Merriweather.
Still at the 42-yard line of Monday. First down. Ball being set around the 42-yard line.
The first and 10 for the Wildcats on about the 43.
16-yard gain. First. Intended for Emge. Drop.
Emge incomplete.
Wide. McDermott's on the inside.
Ball carried by number 89, Mayer.
Number 89, Madeira carried the ball. Jacob Mayer.
The stop was Merriweather.
Tackle made by Ed Hathaway. Almost 10-yard gain.
Timeout for a measurement.
it'll be third down a few inches. At the 32. We have 1 minute and 49 seconds gone so far.
Third down about 6 inches.
Drive, hands inside pass, hands off to the fullback McDermott. Close to the 31, picked up a yard, be first down, Mater Dei. Third first down on this drive.
McDermott was the ball carrier for the first down.
Empties wide. Pitcher coming wide to the near side here. Shoy backing off, back off the pass. Nope. Loose. Incomplete pass.
Shoy's pass was blocked by number 83, Hamilton.
Second down, 10 to go. Hamilton knocked that one down. Incomplete pass, second down and 10. Schrader and Imge wide to the far side. Shoy going back again. Shoy passed it off, no good, incomplete. It was intended for McDermott.
Shoy's pass intended for McDermott.
Third down, 10 to go at the 31-yard line. Eric Waniger in the lineup now. M goes wide to the far side. Jason Coles in the backfield. Shoy passes over the middle. Up, passed into, intercepted by Marshawn Merriweather. Marshawn at the 10. He's at the 20. He's going run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It'll be first down for the Warriors at the 29-yard line. Looks like the ball's at the 30-yard line. Stewart wide. Okay. Lander hands off to Lamar. Lamar moves up to the 32-yard line.
Stopped in there by McDermott, Shoy.
Second down and 6. Pick up a 4.
Second down and 7 on about the 32-yard line.
Double tight end, Warriors. Okay. Wilson, Snow may have lost a yard.
The ball carrier was Wilson for the Warriors.
Yeah, he lost about 1 yard.
Stopped in there by number 51,
Score still 0-0. Stewart and Bennett wide. Backs in eye. Lander back to throw. It steps up into the pocket. Gets away from one, but can't get away from the other. The second. And it's taken over by Mater Dei. Recovered by Mater Dei.
By number 11, Nathan Gable.
Wildcats take over at the Harrison 30-yard line. We've got 8 minutes and 7 seconds to pick up.
Wildcats on their own 34-yard line.
Double wideouts from Mater Dei. Shoy back again. Pass is over. Incomplete. They are going to give it to him. Pass caught by Fetcher at the 26-yard line. 18-yard line.
In there on the stop was Merriweather.
Got a first down at the Harrison 17, first down. Imke's wide on the far side. Fletcher to the wide on the near side. Backs are in the eye. The Shoy passes up on the draw play to side. Side, 10-5. All the way to the 1-yard line. Ball will be placed around the 1 or 2-yard line. Makes 40 yards for Saib already. Full house on the backfield. Inside McDermott.
McDermott the ball game.
McDermott does get in. 7:06 to the left ball in the quarter. 6-0 Mater Dei. Nathan Gable to attempt the extra point.
Wadiger to do the holding. Gable to do the kicking for the Wildcats. The snap, the spot, the kick is up.
Kick is up. Kick is good. With 7:06 to go, it's Mater Dei first on the board, 7-0.
So with 7:06 remaining in the first quarter, we have
David Shoy kicking off.
Bennett, Wilson, and Red, the deep men for the Warrior. And Shoy to do the kicking.
Kevin Sissel falls on at the 25-yard line.
Down on the play by number 31.
First down and 10 at the 25.
We're to be first down and 10 for the Warriors on about the 24-yard line.
Bennett the 30. Bennett around the 30,
Number 8.
the 36 and pulled down.
Where he carries the ball about the 36.
Pick up for 12 for Sean Bennett. First down for Harrison.
Bumped in there by Shoy and Gable.
Shoy and Gable on the defensive play. Stewart wide on this near side. Baxter in the eye again. Lamar behind line. Oh, false start. That was a procedure call.
Lander the ball carrier. Stopped in there by number 51, Cox.
That takes us back 5. Penalty refused. So it makes it second down and approximately 11-12 yards. Ball will be set at the 36-yard line. 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the game. Stewart lines up wide on the far side. Bennett in the slot to the same side. Wide side of the field. Lander hands off Bennett. Bennett trying to get to the outside. Bennett the 40. Cuts up to the 45.
Where he was driven out of bounds by
Gets
number
out to
10,
about the
Shoy.
49-yard line. Pushed out by David Shoy. Good for 26 yards.
Be first down and 10 for the Warriors on
near side. Bennett in the slot to the same side. Lamar and Wilson in the eye behind Lander. Inside handoff to Lamar. Lamar is snowed.
Lamar, the ball carrier.
Forward progress is approximately the 49-yard line. 2nd down and 8.
Stopped in there by side.
Double tied in now. Elliott and Stewart. Lander hands off to Wilson. Wilson goes up to the right side. Down about the 47-yard line. Brandon Cox made the initial hit, finished off by Jacob Mayer.
Stopped in there by McDermott.
3rd down and 7 to go for Harrison. Near side of the field, Stewart and Bennett. Bennett's in the slot. Backs there in the eye. Lander passes off to Wilson. Wilson gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No success on the left side of the field.
Ball carrier was Wilson. He was stopped in there by Wonderleg.
Sean Bennett will be punting.
4th down, about 47-yard line.
Mayer and Woniger in the backfield
for the Warriors.
for about 4 minutes. Penalty marker down on that. The encroachment against Mater Dei. 4th down and 2 to go. Ball at the 42-yard line. High kick, high far side of the field. Down to the 14-yard line. 28-yard punt for Sean Bennett.
The punt was down by Sissel on about the 14.
Mater Dei will pick it up on the 14-yard line. Time on the clock, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Greg Gimping in motion. Bootleg play. Lamar wraps up. LaShoy. Pick up about 3.
Stopped in there by Lamar.
2nd down and 7 to go for Mater Dei. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Pick up about 3 yards. Be 2nd down and 7 for the Wildcats.
Gimping goes wide this time, straight up to the wide to the near side. McDermott inside, in the eye, behind David Choi. David Choi drops back, then passes. Pass is incomplete. Sean Bennett covering.
25, empty. Depending on the play, was Bennett.
Down, 7 to go. Ball at the 18-yard line.
3rd down and 7 on about the 17-yard
brings
line.
the play in. Green, he's wide to the far side. Bates wide to this near side. Choi back to pass. Okay.
Choi's pass intended for Patrick.
Incomplete pass again.
Depending on the play, was Wilson.
4th down punting situation. So he kicks it off. Comes to the Lander side of the field. Gets it at 50. Down by Jason Foles. Dropped at the 45-yard line. Jason Foles brought him down. It was approximately a 34-yard punt by David Choi. First down and 10 for the Harrison Warriors at the 46-yard line. Stewart and Bennett are wide, near side of the field. Pitch back to Wilson. Wilson trying to get the outside. He does get to about the 47-yard line.
By Sive and Foles.
Sive and Foles in on that defensive play. Stewart near wide side. Lamar on the slot. Wilson lone set back behind Lander. He gets the call. He tries to get to the outside. He's at the 45. He may move. He's going down. He's out of bounds around the...
Tripped up by Waniger on about the 20.
Waniger saved the touchdown on that. Down to the 16-yard line of Mater Dei. 37-yard run that time by Kendall Wilson.
Harrison will get it back with pretty good field position. This weather also affects your kicking game. That's not all that bad. Here again is Keith Lander. How about it? All over him, Jason Foles. What had potential, Doug, is stopped.
You can see kind of a fake reverse right there. Lander picked the ball up, tried the fake reverse just to kind of throw that coverage off from the punting team, and you could see a good job right there by Jason. Getting downfield, did not bite for it and stayed right with him.
Best field position so far for the Warriors. Third drive now tonight, 1st and 10, 2.5 remaining. In our opening quarter, and Mater Dei leading Harrison by a score of 7-0.
And kind of what we expected. You can see two split down at the bottom of your screen, the flanker and the wingback position, but they still elect to go to the ground game.
This is Wilson. No one's done it better in a Harrison uniform in the last 4 weeks. He tries to get out to the 50, a little bit short of that. Let's call it the 47-yard line.
By Sive and Foles.
Picked up about 3 on the play, so it'll be 2nd down and 7. And you kind of figured with 3 split wide over here that you were going to see maybe a passing game. The first time tonight that we've seen Harrison try to go to the air, but they stuck it on the ground. Wilson picked up 3.
1 interception tonight. That was David Shoy's. Harrison still went nowhere. 2nd down, 7 for the Warriors. And they will still keep it on the ground. Wilson switches sides, tries to find a hole, and this kid has been doing that, like I said. He is off. He has got speed. Out to about the 15. He was tripped up, or he was in for 6.
Tripped up by Waniger on about the 20.
Eric Waniger, one of the cornerbacks from Mater Dei, just able to grab his legs and kind of break that motion a little bit. Tripped him down outside the 15-yard line to about the 16. But that's something with Harrison, even though it is a wet field, if you give them the ability to get to the outside, the quickness is going to get you 15 or 20 yards most of the time.
5'10", 170. Boy, is that kid quick. Under 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Looking to tie at 7. They trail 7-0 to Mater Dei. Again, back on the ground. Hey, whatever works inside the 15 now. So Mitch Marsh won't go to the air. He'll keep it on the ground for now. Deepest the Warriors now have been. Again, inside the 15-yard line. Pick up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. They're enjoying their finest week last weekend. We're back on Saturday night. A tester tonight in the Sloppy Rights Bowl. Lander in trouble. Loose football.
Looks like Keith got it back. Good pressure right there from one of the outside ends, Jacob Mayer in there. You can see going to the air for the first time tonight, and the ball just came loose. Jacob went down to get it, but Keith was right there with him and got it away from him.
Keith's very upset he didn't get that one off, but he is very lucky to still have the football. We're going to see a couple more turnovers tonight. There's no question about that.
You're going to probably see at least 2 or 3 from each ball club, and a lot of times because of the conditions, you can't really avoid that.
Loss of 7, 3rd down 15 here for Harrison. I expect Lander will again go to the air. He will, but he's running out of time. Not a lot of time to get that off. Touchdown, Warriors. He snuck right in there.
Found the tight end, Matt Elliott, 6'3", 176, and a junior. And you can see he got downfield, man-to-man coverage back there. David Shoy right there with him. Had to come back to the ball just a little bit, but then was able from about the 3-yard line to make it into the end zone.
Nice target, 6'3", 175. Matt Elliott, again the junior. We've got a 7-6 ball game. Zach Hamby, familiar to soccer fans. Great soccer player. And here's the point after flags thrown before he gets that one off.
Weather's going to have a factor on extra points as well because of the wet ball. You're going to see probably some mishandled snaps. It's going to be very interesting to see how the kicking team responds to the wet ground underneath there and see if that's going to affect their footing at all.
This team's very high on Hamby. Like I said, we've seen him in other sports perform as well. A lot of teams have done that. Went to the soccer team to grab your kicker. Hamby, one of the better ones. That looked like it was deflected along the way. It is no good. Mater Dei still has the lead. They're up by a score of 7-6. We'll keep it here with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Pretty good job by Mater Dei offensively the first 3 times that they've had the ball. Even though the last time they kind of got shut down a little bit, tried to go to the air. After Shoy tried a little quarterback bootleg, good for 3 yards, had 2 incomplete passes, forced to punt for the first time. And really the best field position that Harrison has had tonight, this last possession. They got it at 2:32, not quite 2 minutes to get 55 yards into the end zone.
A little drizzle outside, that's about it right now. Before game time, as you saw Doug and I standing out there, it was coming down. About 20 minutes before game time, and it is indeed let up. Under a minute here, 39 seconds in the first quarter. Eric Waniger out to about the 29 where it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
And you kind of like the way, if you're a Mater Dei fan, the way that they've been able to move the ball the first 2 possessions that they had. And they've basically started back in their own field position. They started their first drive back at the 24-yard line. The second, pretty good field position after the fumble recovery, which was in Harrison territory, and then last time started from their own 14, so a little bit farther now at the 28.
Frank Will has admitted this team has played some pretty good football in the past couple of weeks. Deeper this time. Fetcher had one nice earlier, that time around the 40. Out of play. 12 seconds remaining. They'll get off the final play right here.
Defending on the play was number 35, Wilson.
I'd say the first quarter's pretty much gone the way you expected it. A lot of passing from Mater Dei, not a lot of running. Probably the biggest surprise would be the way that Harrison is stuck on the ground. They really haven't had that many opportunities to go to the air. The only time that they have resulted in a touchdown.
This should be final play of the first quarter. 7-6 in favor of the Wildcats. Shoy again drops back to pass. They've got to watch this kid a little bit more. Over the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Mater Dei Wildcats.
Jim Schrader, one of the ends right there, coming up with a catch across the 40-yard line, spotted about the 41. Good enough for another Mater Dei 1st down. Stop the clock to move the chains. Now they're going to start it. That's going to be the end of our first quarter.
We have played 12 at Wrights Bowl. Maybe to some surprise, Mater Dei leading Harrison by a score of 7-6. We'll take this time out. You're watching high school football on Evansville's local sports authority, TV 52.
Mater Dei getting on the board first tonight, 7:06 in the first quarter. 2-yard touchdown run by fullback Jeff McDermott. The extra point good gave Mater Dei a 7-0 lead. Then with 39 seconds remaining in that first quarter, 21-yard touchdown pass from Keith Lander to Matt Elliott. The extra point no good. We stand at 7-6 in favor of Mater Dei as we head to the second quarter.
First and 10 here for the Wildcats, getting close to the 45, approaching midfield. Mater Dei as we begin our second quarter. Mater Dei again at 1-3.
By Hathaway.
After some impressive showings in the first month of play. Harrison was posted pretty much to a 4-0 record. Last week over Central, I mentioned the opening week blowout over Jeffersonville. It was a confidence builder to begin on. North surprised them, and North is tough, a young, tough team. We'll get our first look at them coming up in a couple of weeks. Back on the ground. Over the 50 to the 46-yard line.
Brett Side, the ball carrier again, good enough for another Mater Dei first down all the way up to the Harrison 45-yard line. Pickup of 11.
I'm just starting to notice, Doug, it's getting a little muddy through the middle, and it's going to be tougher to read those shirts of the Harrison Warriors come the second half. We had a couple of those last year.
Kind of been lucky, though, with our football coverage. We haven't really experienced a lot of shooting in the rain the last couple seasons.
Fourth year, high school football on TV 52 to the 35. And this is what I was talking about during our pregame comments, Doug. These guys will surprise you on the ground.
And I think that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're coming out, and because they did a lot of passing back in that first quarter, Harrison is almost in a passing type of defense where the linebackers pull back a little bit. Your secondary people are going to spread out with the ends that are split wide. And that kind of opens up the running game a little bit. And you can see that right now the offensive line for the Wildcats doing a good job creating the holes. And right now, Seib and McDermott finding the holes and getting some big yards.
Second down, a yard to go. They will pick it up. This has got to give Mater Dei faithfuls some hope in this one, because every drive so far has been pretty successful. Even the one they threw away, that drive upfield again was impressive by Shoy and company.
And I think at this point in the season, even though they're 1-3, you kind of look at what we referred to earlier in the telecast. They have not been blown out yet this year. Nope. They have been involved in just about every game, and that makes it a little bit easier when you go to practice. It's tough always losing, but when you're involved in the close games like that, you know maybe a time or two a break's going to go your way.
Keep it on the ground inside the 30. That's what's helped Mater Dei many years into the postseason. They're so well tested every week, and it seems every year, and I've looked back at several scoring lines for the season in review. Mater Dei is a football team, and it can be said for a lot, but particularly Mater Dei, that gets better and better every single week.
And I think you look at some of the experience that some of the underclassmen get a knowledge of the game early on. Because of the numbers, you're going to see a lot of maybe sophomores and juniors that might not get a chance to play a lot. Because they're at Mater Dei, they're going to get a lot of experience, and that really helps them later on in the season, especially postseason time, and then on to their senior year.
Time out here in the field, one down. Right back up. That's a good sign, particularly when it's Brett Seib. He has turned some heads this year.
Last carry on that, picked up about 3, got it to the 30-yard line, so a second down and 7 now for Mater Dei.
You know, they're not tons of seniors on this team, but senior leadership is down somewhat through all the teams this year. Pass complete inside the 20, found a hole inside the 5. But they're quality seniors I was getting to.
Great job right there again. McDermott coming out of the backfield, and a great block right down here on our near side. As soon as he caught the ball, that really opened the way around the 15-yard line. Marshawn Merriweather, the safety, coming over, making the tackle. First and goal now for Mater Dei from the 3.
And a nice junior class. Talk about McDermott. David Shoy, just a junior. First down, 3 to go here for the Wildcats. Maybe surprising the Harrison Warriors here. Very tough defense. That time they're going to hold them. Last time, Mater Dei snuck in there for the first 6.
Jeff McDermott on the carry again. Picked up maybe 1 on the play.
Stopped it there by the whole Harrison line.
As you can hear the PA announcer, he was stopped by the whole Harrison line. Picked up 1 on the play. It's going to be second goal from the 2.
That's always a safe bet to say. They all just crowd in and block you from going in. About 2 yards to go here. We have played 3 minutes in our second quarter. Mater Dei trying to go on top. Right now they lead 7-6, or stretch that lead, by the way, to the outside. Again, tough to sneak on in there. They may have gained a little bit that time also, but now you're looking at third and about 1. Tough defense.
Kevin Sissel right there, one of the linebackers, along with Ed Hathaway to make contact right there. Starting to inch a little bit closer to the goal line. McDermott again picked up 1 on the play, so now you're looking at third and goal from the 1.
Talk about momentum. If Harrison can hold him here, there's your momentum. But I have a feeling Mater Dei would go for it even if they didn't sneak in this time. Third down, 1 to go for the Wildcats. Trying to take a lead of 13-6. Touchdown, Mater Dei.
Second one tonight for the fullback, 5'11" senior Jeff McDermott. And what's really impressive is the way that Mater Dei has been able to move the ball. The passing game has been there, not real effective. They've had a couple of big gains. The last one, a 27-yarder to McDermott that started from about the own 33-yard line, got him inside the 5. But Jeff picks up his second touchdown, now the all-important extra point.
Nathan Gable is 2 for 2 tonight. 14-6, can you believe this one early? Mater Dei over unbeaten Harrison. High school football's Friday night on 52. Shouting about Mater Dei has the football inside the 35. This has been their half.
I tell you what, a great job as far as the kickoff team. It was not a deep kick, one that hit the ground a little bit, and Harrison had a little bit of trouble picking it up. As soon as they got the ball, got about 2 yards, he was hit immediately. Eric Weiniger, I think, came up with the fumble recovery. Field position again, great for the Mater Dei Wildcats inside the Harrison 40 at the 37.
Joy quick to pass here. Deeper again, favorite target, almost threw it away. 2 right there, Bennett, and that of Jim Fetcher.
You can see right now that Mater Dei is not wasting a lot of time. You said quick to go to the air. That's going to open that running game up a little bit and vice versa. They had a lot of success that last possession where they marched down and scored. Most of that damage was done with the ground game. A couple of passes that picked up some crucial first downs.
Second down 10 for the Wildcats. 7:54 till halftime. Wildcats up 14-6. And again, they found the holes. They have had a pretty good ground game. They have had a more successful ground game than that of the team everybody thought was doing it best, Harrison, so far here in the first half.
Brett Seib again picks up another first down, gains 11 all the way to the Harrison 26-yard line. And again, I think because of Harrison's knowledge, expecting a lot of passing games, you're going to see a little bit more success from Mater Dei. Now you're going to see maybe Harrison concentrate a little bit more on the running game. And if you're Mater Dei, that's when you want to go back to the air.
And I can't look for an excuse here for Harrison. Sure, the rain is going to slow you a little bit, but I wouldn't blame this on the rain right now. Mater Dei is just playing excellent offensive football.
Jeff McDermott, ball carrier right there. Motion's going to be called against Mater Dei. You can see Jeff started a little bit too quick before the snap of the ball right there. So they're going to push him back 5 all the way to the 31.
14-6 if you're just joining us on this Friday night. Mater Dei over Harrison. Rossi watching very closely tonight as 2 share the top, or near the top of the SIAC. Both teams are 4-0 overall, but Harrison played non-conference against Jeffersonville. Rossi's non-conference comes against Henderson County in future weeks. First down 15 for Mater Dei. Shoy again, both have worked well into the hands of Jeff McDermott. Second time tonight to about the 22-yard line.
And that's the ability, if they watch some of the area teams around town, you look at the backs coming out of the backfield, that gives you an additional outlet as far as a passing game. You've got to have a lot of confidence in your backs. For one, to run a good pattern, and for two, to be able to catch the ball and hang on to it. And so far, McDermott has been the man tonight.
Nobody expected Mater Dei to beat Memorial. They did. Nobody expected Mater Dei to hang with Boise. They did last week, and no one expected this. 14-6 in favor of the Wildcats. Here they come again, inside the 20. He has been tough to stop. Again, the ball carrier, Brett Seib. Good first half for Brett.
And you can see right now that he is getting those legs moving as soon as he gets the ball and starts that forward progress. Harrison having a little bit of trouble bringing him down. He broke a couple tackles right there, got inside the 20-yard line to about the 16, close enough for a measurement.
We'll bring back out the chain gang. And the rain has, from my vantage point, looks like it has ceased for now. First down for Mater Dei. Try to add to a lead of 14-6.
And they have done a great job so far offensively. They picked up 11 first downs so far here in the first half. Again, mounting a good drive. Second time that they've had pretty good field position, starting from the Harrison 37 this time.
With a 15. Mater Dei is playing an undefeated team for the second straight week, as is Central tonight also. They've had a tough first month and a half now. They can hang with these guys. Look out when the postseason comes around.
Seems like every year it's always tough, as we talked earlier, for Mater Dei going up against the SIAC conference because of the numbers that they're going up against, but it always prepares them for that Class 2A playoff.
Here again are the Wildcats. Touchdown, Mater Dei.
First one tonight for Brett Seib, and you can see the officials had to wait to make sure that the ball had crossed the plane before his knees went down. I thought maybe they were going to call it on the 1-yard line, but that back official up there made sure that the ball had crossed the line. 14-yard touchdown, first tonight for Brett Seib, the third for Mater Dei.
Nate Gable going to try to go 3 for 3. Harrison is stunned here in the first half. It is up. It is good, but a flag on the play. That came from the far side, Doug. Let's see what it is.
Usually going to be some type of movement on the front line. It's going to depend on who it's against.
Take that point off. Try it again. More of a tester for Nathan Gable. This will be quite a ways for Nathan.
Illegal block, preliminary indication from the officials. And that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, so that's going to push them all the way out close to the 20-yard line, about the 18.
Things are going so well. Do you maybe want to fake it and try to run this one in? No, they're going to let Nathan kick it.
Gable set the kick.
So he'll have to try for his third one tonight. A ways to go with a wet football. That time, it is no good. But Mater Dei leads Harrison by a score of 20-6. 5:24 remaining in our first half. You're watching Evansville's local sports authority. This is WAZ TV 52. Back out at Wrights Bowl. Do not adjust your screen. That score you see is correct. Mater Dei 20, Harrison 6, 5:20 here to go in the first half. How about the Mater Dei Wildcats?
They have come out and played very aggressive. Defensively, they've been able to shut down the running game of Harrison. You can see right now,
they thought they had that football.
Discussion right now on the field thinking that the ball came loose would have been the second time on the kickoff. You can hear the Mater Dei fans not pleased with the outcome right there, but I think they said the knee was down before the ball came loose. Good field position here for Harrison, the best that they've had it in a while, outside of their own 40 at the 41.
20-6, first and 10 for Harrison. They're back on the ground, almost lost that one. And pushed back. How about this?
You can see a little miscommunication right there in the Harrison backfield. They had a wishbone with the fullback up and two halfbacks split behind him. And Lander wanted to hand off and kind of ran into the second back coming through the line. And Jim Schrader, one of the defensive ends right there, 5'11", 170 and a junior, in there to stop it. Pushes them all the way back to the 37, a loss of 4.
Second and 14 for Harrison. They might want to try something in the air. Ground game has worked twice, and that's about it. Kendall Wilson makes it happen here to about the 45-yard line, approaching midfield.
Good job of movement right there, and you can see that he was making those sharp cuts a lot of times very difficult on a wet surface like that, but he had the blockers out in front of him. And if they're going to have an established run game, it's going to start with that front line. They're going to really have to start opening the holes. The defensive line for Mater Dei, though, has been able to really shut down the door against any big run so far tonight.
They're down 6 to go here for the Harrison Warriors. In motion again through the back is that of Matt Elliott. He has one big one tonight. Open up a hole for Wilson. There's the first down and a little bit more over the 45. To about the 43, where it's 1st and 10 again for Harrison. And they need something here. And you want to put something on the board if you're Harrison. You don't want to go in at halftime with a score like that staring you in the face.
And I think that's going to be exactly what they're going to try to do right now. 3:45 left until halftime. They want to keep this ball, keep driving downfield. They still got their timeouts left, so that's going to be a way they can stop the clock if they need to, but they need to put some points on the board.
3.5 remaining till halftime. Lander in the air, not always as successful, almost picked off. A deflection into the hand of Matt Elliott. He has his second tonight. That was tipped right to him. Right place at the right time, you betcha.
Great concentration right there by Matt. Also a pretty good job defensively by David Choi. You can see he went up, the ball underthrown a little bit, and that was an advantage for the defensive coverage of Mater Dei, but David couldn't hang on to it. Matt was right behind and came up with a big catch.
First down and 10 on the 26.
1st and 10 for Harrison. 3:17 remaining. Harrison in desperate need of a score. After a touchdown and missed the point after. Here again is Wilson. Wilson's been doing this a little bit more and more every possession. Trying to get to the 25-yard line. Stopped just outside of that.
Got back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe actually pushed back a half a yard. And spotted just outside the 26. The defensive ends right now doing a good job for Mater Dei. They're getting in there, creating a lot of commotion in that backfield. And you can see on that left side over there, Jim Schrader did a good job getting in there. Jacob Mayer's coming from the other side.
And Wunderlich part of that last. 5'11", 235 senior. One of the impressive upperclassmen here with Mater Dei. Plenty of time, 2:35 remaining. You see the spot of the ball just outside the 25-yard line. Feel more comfortable throwing when you get this deep, and you go right back to Wilson, who breaks the 25 to the 23, a gain of 3.
So you can see they're still having trouble getting through that offensive line, and really that's been the strong point of Harrison all season long. They've had a lot of big holes. And with the quickness of this ball club, once you get to that line of scrimmage, that's where you kick in your second afterburner, and those backs really hit the line. Then they start going towards the outside to get that speed and take away the angle. Right now, 3rd down and about 8, though, for Harrison.
Like I said, they've had more success going to the outside, but not much right here. Mater Dei going to stop him again. If I'm Harrison and I'm inside the 25 with 1:45 remaining, you betcha I'm going.
Bennett, the ball carrier again, play the work twice back in that first quarter. Picked up about 26 yards with 2 carries. First downs on both carries by Sean, but that time Mater Dei read it well. 1.5 left now at halftime. Big possession right here. 4th down and about 6.
Mater Dei's already done it tonight. See if they can stop him again. Needs 6 yards to keep this drive going. Lander fakes the handoff. Like I said, he can scramble with the best of them. And that ball is almost thrown away. Nathan Gable right there. The good news for Mater Dei, 1st and 10, going the other way.
Good defensive stand right there by the Wildcats, and they did exactly what they wanted to do. They kept Harrison from out of the end zone. Now you're going to look at about 1:10 left until halftime. Clock will start once the ball gets placed. Right now with the incomplete pass, it'll stay at 1:08. Look for Mater Dei just to keep the ball on the ground and try to run this out till halftime.
Yeah, going to halftime leading 20-6. Everybody's telling me, watch out for Sal Spencer. Watch out for Sal Spencer. Class 2A, they're going all the way. Watch out for the Mater Dei Wildcats. Right now beating number 5 in Class 5A, Harrison, the unbeaten. With a 26 for the Wildcats, they will keep it on the ground.
McDermott, the ball carrier again. Gets outside to the 25, picked up about 3.
Stopped in there by number 70.
Maybe you should watch out for Sal Spencer. The number 6 team in the state of Indiana in Class 2A has been really racking up the points the past couple of weeks. I still say they're not playing the competition. The Cats are here, and maybe they would be 1-3 heading into week number 5. On second down and 7, out to about the 30-yard line.
Brett Seib again, ball carry picked up about 3 on the play, so you're looking at a third down and about 4. But right now, again, Mater Dei is just concerned with keeping the ball on the ground, letting the clock continue to run. Down to 12 seconds now and running.
Mater Dei will go into the locker room with a nice lead. They were happy last weekend, even though they were trailing 7-3. The Mater Dei Wildcats have played an impressive 24 minutes. They lead the Harrison Warriors 26. Mitch Marsh back to the drawing board.
And I think that you look at the way Mater Dei was able to move the ball in both the first and second quarter. Every time they had the possession, with the exception of one time, they picked up at least 1 first down on the drive, and that was really something that gave them the momentum. The defense has been able to do pretty much what they expected. I think the big surprise, because of the conditions,
we have not seen Harrison go to the air that much.
20-6 here at halftime. That's the Mater Dei Wildcats as high school football's Friday night continues on TV 52.
1-1, 2-0.
defense, I think, has been the big key, and Mater Dei has been playing well.
What is Mitch Marsh telling his team right now?
Well, I think right now the big key is not to get too down on yourselves. Frustration, especially in the first half like this, with conditions like this, can be a big problem. But he's got to really pump them kids up a little bit, have them come out in the second half. I think we're going to see them go to the air a little bit more. The running game, not really too much as far as a lot of success.
And right now the field is a little sloppy and the rain has ceased. Do you think they're going to have to do that? Go back to the air. Maybe that's their only prayer, but then again, they almost threw it away a couple of times.
Well, I think if they can come out and establish a good drive the first possession that they get, that's going to really pump the confidence back up in the players. And that's going to be something they really need to do, especially coming out at halftime. If they can get a good drive, even if they don't get a score, at least move the ball a little bit, run some time off that clock, get that confidence back as far as the offensive line, the running backs. The defense has done a pretty good job most of the game, so you really concentrate now on your offense, what to do to get more points.
Finally, Mater Dei's ground game. Very, very impressed.
Well, I think that you expect when you look at Mater Dei to throw the ball a lot, especially coming into tonight because of the wet grounds. You expected the running game not to be really existent right there, but they have been able to do that, and I think that's because Harrison came out, anticipated a lot of balls in the air, and that's something that Mater Dei has been able to mix up well.
We're at halftime. It's 26 in favor of Mater Dei. We've got second half action. SIAC High School Football's fifth week coverage of high school football after this timeout.
First down for Mater Dei. They were 20 carries on the ground, good for 121 yards. Of those, Brett Seib had 12 carries, good for 98 yards and a touchdown. Jeff McDermott had 2 touchdowns. 6 for 15 in the air, 1 interception, 81 yards in the air for the Mater Dei Wildcats. They ran 34 plays from scrimmage. For the Harrison Warriors, they picked up 5 first downs, 23 plays of scrimmage, 19 rushes, good for 80 yards. Passing department, 2 for 3, good for 39 yards, 9 carries and 50 yards for Kendall Wilson in that first half. The big problem for Harrison, the running game, the wet surface, also fumbles. They've had 3 fumbles, they've lost 2.
Kevin Sissel brings them out to the 37, 1st and 10. A very important early possession here for Harrison as we begin our second half. 20-6 in favor of Mater Dei. Lander first time to the air. Pass complete to Bennett. Bennett over the 45. Bennett needs some room to sneak by at about the 42.
We talked about that at halftime, that they really needed to come out and try to establish a passing game. Not a lot of offense from them in that first half. They scored 1 touchdown, that coming on a passing play. 20-yard pass from Lander to Elliott. The only touchdown for Harrison, but you can see they have come out, and this is kind of what I was talking about. If they can get the ball on the kickoff, establish pretty good field position, and then get a good drive upfield, that's going to really pump up their confidence.
Right back to the ground here again. Kendall Wilson over the 40-yard line. A loose football, and Mater Dei has it again.
We saw in the first half the ability that Mater Dei was doing defensively. Eric Weniger, also Brett Seib, the 2 right there. I think Eric came up with another recovery. He picked one up back in that first half. And that's something that Mater Dei has been doing all game long. They've really been hitting the holes defensively. The linebackers have been up there really cutting down the running game, and you can see it's a problem right now for the Warriors.
1st and 10. Again, we are going the other way. First time, second half, David Shoy. Shoy, far side, pass complete. That's worked almost every time tonight.
Jim Fetcher, the flanker, again on the reception right there. Out of bounds, close to the 50-yard line. They're going to spot it about the 48.
Number 32, red.
Shoy optioning on the outside, and more times to Fetcher tonight than that of Greg Emge. I said that's been probably the most popular combination. Shoy to Emge coming in here to week number 5. Second down, a yard to go here for Shoy and company. Mater Dei on top of Harrison by a score of 20-6. Here again is Brett Seib up and over the 50-yard line. Good enough for another Mater Dei Wildcats. First down.
Ed Hathaway, Kevin Sissel again on the coverage right there. Good enough for another first down across the 50 to about the 48. Picked up 4 on the play. And I think that's going to be a key for Harrison as well. The play of the defensive line and that linebacking core coming up and trying to shut down that running game. Very successful for Mater Dei back in the first half.
First and 10, opening 2 minutes here of our third quarter. Mater Dei again from the eye. Ground game worked pretty good too. Seib dropped the football. Again, that's a wet football. Jump right back on it inside the 45-yard line.
And that's a break right there for Mater Dei, something Harrison hasn't been able to take advantage of with the ball right there. Nobody really around, Brett. You could see as soon as he dropped it, he was the only one.
Back on the outside. But this again is Seib. Seib over the 40. Inside the 35. Another first down for Mater Dei.
Great job of running. You could see Brett kind of stopping and starting out there, making sure that he's got good traction underneath him and also waiting for the blocks to really be put down in front of him, and that's opening the holes. He's able to read how the defense is reacting to that offensive line plunging out from the offensive secondary.
Setting in place, Jason Foles returns. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Like I said earlier, they've been impressive on every drive, even when they threw it away deep. That march upfield on the opening drive was indeed impressive. Trying to get to the 30. And the Harrison defense, frustrated, punches them back a little bit.
Sissel and Hathaway again on the coverage right there. And you can see those two linebackers along with Lamar and Red right now. They're going to have to do something because that offensive line for Mater Dei is really doing a job on that defensive front line for the Warriors.
Second down and 8 for Mater Dei. For Shoy, both has worked well. Maybe a little bit more so the passing game. Good news from that of a week ago. Jeff McDermott, great athletic family he comes from. The tradition continues in his junior year.
Up inside the 30-yard line, almost to the 29, so pick up of about 3. Just inside the 30 in Harrison territory, third down and about 7.
We were talking about rights last week being a family affair. The same could be said for Mater Dei athletics, Doug. A lot of the same names year after year. Third down and 6 to go for the Wildcats. 6 to pick up that first down. Probably the most success they've had in a while against Seib. That time holding them short. Decision time for Will. He's just outside the 25 and a couple of yards to go here to pick up your first down.
And you can see right there a big hit again from Ed Hathaway. 6'3", 226 and a senior. He and Kevin Sissel kind of anchored down that defensive line right there and the middle linebackers.
Probably don't get all the credit they deserve, but there's a big part of why the Harrison defense has impressed you so much this year. Something's happened tonight, though. On 4th and 3, Mater Dei is going for it. 3 yards to go. Wide open is Fetcher. Fetcher a little ways to go to pick up another first down.
Great effort right there by Jim. That got him the first down. You could see good man-to-man coverage over there from the Harrison Warriors. Josh Dahmer, 5'6", 146, and a senior. Had him right there. It looked like he was going to stop him short of a first down, but that second effort, Jim kind of twisted a little bit and got that momentum over the 23-yard line.
7:34 to go here in our third quarter. Mater Dei trying for what would be the biggest upset so far this season. Some extra room here for Jason Foles. They found the holes tonight, Doug. They've just found the holes.
First time we've seen that, a wing-back trap right there where he just comes back from his flanker position there and just cuts right in between the center and the guard. The hole was there, and that's something the running backs have found all night long for Mater Dei, the ability to get through that line of scrimmage and get into that secondary.
First down and 10. Call it first and goal inside the 10. Mater Dei trying to add to a 20-6 score. Here again is Seib. No room that time for Seib to move. Again, this is a frustrated Harrison defense.
And this is a really vital part in the ball game. 6:50 left in the third quarter. Mater Dei able to move the ball rather easily downfield again, much like they did back in the first half. But this is where the Warriors are really going to have to tighten up a little bit, get really tough. You can't afford to let Mater Dei score another touchdown.
8 yards to go. We talked about, you and I down on the field moments ago, that Harrison would have to come out strong. This is just the opposite of what they were hoping for. Second down, 8. That is 8 to go. Option again, far side. Trying to get inside the 5. That is incomplete. Fetcher has not dropped many tonight, by the way, either.
I think for Harrison, you like the way that they came out, and we talked about the passing game, that they really had to come out and maybe establish that. They did that with that first little screen pattern, but then the fumbles started to become a problem again. Something that got to them a little bit back in the first half. They came out and did the exact same thing, but this could be a big possession right here. Last time Mater Dei had a 4th and about 6 situation. They went for it, they got it. Now you're looking at a 3rd and goal still on the 8.
Emge back in there. Emge in motion through the back. Shoy maybe looking in the end zone. Threw it away, intercepted. What a big turn of events for Harrison. Boy, did they need that. Our celebration, you really can't hear them there to the far side. And that is a big break and maybe a momentum turner.
That could be something that can spark this Harrison offense. 2nd interception tonight for the safety, Marshawn Merriweather. 5'10", 165 and a junior. Now Harrison can get back out offensively and try to get something going, starting at their own 20.
This is where Harrison has to get it going. Trailing 26. 6:15 remaining here in our third quarter. Drop the football. Lander can scramble with the best of them. Up and over the 25 to about the 28.
A design play right there, I think, where he just kind of stopped as if he didn't have the ball. They tried that flanker reverse again with Bennett coming through the hole. A fake handoff there, and Keith just kind of stopped a minute as if he had handed the ball to Sean. Mater Dei, you can see, kind of shift towards this near side of the field, but then he just took off, picked up about 8.
That did work, yeah. 8 yards, about 2 to go here. Harrison came close to scoring towards the tail end of that second quarter. That would have made a big difference. But Mater Dei has been sharp on defense also, to about the 30, up and over the 30-yard line.
Down on about the 30-yard line.
Kendall Wilson, the carrier again. 9 carries, 50 yards back in the first half. This one's good for about 3 and a first down for Harrison.
Still plenty of football. I was talking to Joe Dibble briefly at halftime. I said, how about the Wildcats, Joe? And very cautiously said, it's not over yet.
Well, they played a very good first half, that we talked about earlier last week against Boise. Really stopped the running game. We're in the game at halftime, 7-3, and then eventually lost 35-24.
Nice grab by Bennett, out to about the 38. Harrison's also working a little bit quicker here, Doug.
Well, I think they realize that the clock is going to be at their disadvantage. There's still a lot of football left, and they just have to get up the field as quickly as they can and get as many opportunities to push it into the end zone.
This game keeping pace with every game we've had so far this year in the SIAC. Just a great football game. We have not really seen a blowout throughout that first one with Rice over New Albany, one we were glad to see. But city versus city, it's been very close. Overshoots. Look like Craig Stewart at about the 45. First call for Stewart tonight, the 5'10", 180-pound senior. And now a very important 3rd down and 4. This is where Mater Dei has been most impressive, stopping the 3rd down conversion.
And you can see that when Harrison goes to the air, they're not looking for big yardage plays. They're just trying to pick up 5 and 6 yards to get the confidence, for one thing, in the receivers, also in Keith Lander, that they can come out and throw effectively. 3rd
down and 4, and longer out here for Kendall Wilson, and they hold him.
Jacob Mayer, the left end on the other side, made sure that he was not going to get across that 40-yard line. Actually had to get to about the 41. But you can see they stopped him short of the 40, about the 39. Picked up maybe 2 on the play, but again, Harrison now forced to punt.
Mater Dei should get it back in pretty good field position. 2 inside the 30. This is on 4th and 3. Not a bad kick. Takes a Harrison roll and then out of play inside the 25, call it the 23-yard line, or it's 1st and 10 for the Mater Dei Wildcats.
And again, that Mater Dei defense doing an effective job 3 or 4 times during the first half when Harrison started something. Maybe you thought they were going to be able to punch the ball in. Turnover's a problem. They had a fumble on a kickoff that put Mater Dei in good field position. They also had another fumble, and then starting out here in the third quarter, had an opportunity with pretty good field position starting at their own 37, but the fumble gave Mater Dei the ball back. Every time Harrison has had an opportunity, they really haven't been able to do anything offensively.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They're up by a score of 20-6. No scoring yet here in the second half. Cats came close in their first possession here of the third quarter.
Brett Sive, the carrier again, and again that tandem in the middle as far as the linebackers. Kevin Sissel, Ed Hathaway on the contact.
Picked up maybe 1, 2nd down and 9 for Mater Dei. Sibe on the ground and Venture on the receiving end through the air. Not bad tonight again by the Wildcats. Still a ways to go. 3:24 remaining in our third quarter and 12 in the fourth. 20-6 Mater Dei. Shoy has plenty of time, gets it off. McDermott tries to come close to a first down, does so almost to the 35-yard line where you need to get to pick up another first down.
Going to be about a yard short, picked up about 8 on the play. And you can see that the offensive line is
successful, unlike Harrison on the third down conversion. Just tumble over the 35, pick up the first down.
Jeff McDermott, the ball carrier again, good enough for another Mater Dei first down over the 35, about to the 36.
Big plays. They've done that all night long.
Defensively, they've done it, and offensively. And I think the big key as far as the way that they've been able to drive offensively is they've kept Harrison off the field with their offense. They have kept the ball a long time. The defense has been out there a lot tonight for Harrison. And case in point, when Harrison has had the ball, they really have been ineffective and haven't been able to establish a good drive.
Bottom of your screen, that is Jason Foles. He's had a couple tonight. Fetcher to the top. Brett Sibe on the ground, up and over the 40-yard line. It was said before the season began, Mater Dei's fans were just going to have some patience, and that can be the storyline from year to year. Like I said, the team gets better as each week passes. They can hold on here. This will be very satisfying in week number 5. We televised the game when they beat Memorial. Boy, was that a great game.
Trailed in that ball game, and then came back with a big second half. Ended up beating the Tigers 21-15.
Sibe going to pick up the first down. I remember that because the next morning in church over at Corpus Christi, they open up the morning service with "How about those Wildcats?" and that drew kind of an applause.
Well, the West Side loves their football. We know the tradition of rights, and Mater Dei has been one. And again, you look at what they're going up against as far as regular season, but you kind of prepares them once the playoffs get here in Class 2A. They have been very successful, and to have a season like this where playing up against the bigger teams, you're going to have bigger competition that you're going up against. But I think right now the kids believe in themselves. You see them work very hard in practice, knowing that each game they're going to have a chance to come out with a victory, and I think that is why they have been playing like they have this year.
You were in Pennsylvania, Doug, during week number 1. It was Mater Dei on top of Central 13-0, and then a much better second half by the Bears gave Mater Dei their first loss of the season. But even in that game, they looked pretty good.
Second down and 10 for the Wildcats.
2nd and 10 here for the Wildcats. Right now, they're up by a score of 26. 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Fetcher trying to find something about the 45. Incomplete.
Little flat pattern right there. Close to the 45-yard line would have been good for about an 8-yard gain if Jim had come up with a catch. And now you kind of figure with a 3rd and 10, you're going to see the air game again. And you expect to see Harrison drop back. And a problem for but again, Harrison now has the opportunity to try to start to move it offensively themselves.
It's like they're going to have to score on this possession. Even though you still have 12 minutes now, 20 seconds left of this third, you're down 26. And you'd better score here. Lander Gonna pass this deep. He goes his longest, looking for Bennett. Bennett has the football up and over the 40. The most successful so far for the offense tonight of the Harrison Warriors since their first touchdown.
And that goes back to the point I made earlier. The passing game to this point for Harrison had been the short yardage passes where they were just trying to pick up 6, 7, 8 yards, maybe 10 yards with a completion. That time sending Sean Bennett, the flanker, who had a big game as we talked about last week, deep, and you could see that he beat the defensive coverage, was behind him all the way to the modern-day 39.
1 quarter to go. Every week it has been interesting. We will take this timeout. Nobody covers Evansville sports like Evansville's own WAZ TV 52.
Competitive rates are important.
Will make it easier to apply for a loan.
Right, less paperwork, less red tape. Apply right over the phone.
Loans for any need and home mortgages.
I'm Darren Smith with Doug Emick. 12 to go here at Wrights Bowl. It is 20-6 in favor of the modern-day Wildcats. Harrison has the football.
Definitely the biggest play offensively tonight for Harrison. 49 yards, a pass from Lander to Elliott. Puts him in modern-day territory from the 39. 12 minutes left. You kind of figure, as Darren said, going out last quarter, they're going to have to score on this possession. There's another loose ball.
I don't believe it. Modern Day may have it again. They do. Modern Day takes over on the 43-yard line. We said we were going to see turnovers tonight. Maybe too many. Jim, let's do it. Let's check other scores tonight from around the area. Here are the scores in front of you. Number 5 in Class 4A, Bossy, trying to stay unbeaten against Central tonight. Other games in the city, it was North at Memorial over at Enloe Field. Big one, Wrights and Castle over in Newburgh tonight. Outside the city, Gibson Southern was at Pike Central. Number 4 in Class 3A, Heritage Hills at Tecumseh. Mount Vernon at Boonville. And then Chase Acres and North Posey over at Southridge. Princeton played at Jasper tonight. And what other score? Tell City over at Washington. Around the area, high school football on this can just about put Joy fakes the handoff and again has plenty of time. Looking again for Fetcher. That's the second one. Deja vu, Doug Emick.
Great job again. We saw it back in the first quarter. Basically the same area of the field where Jim was kind of on a tight line. Flag is going to on the play though. However, the official's going to the Harrison Warriors, so that would indicate it's going to be against the Wildcats.
Another great catch though by Fetcher. Boy, that kid's impressive.
Great concentration and just the ability to stay in bounds like that. Penalty is going to be an ineligible receiver downfield for the Wildcats.
Bring it back. Harrison breathes a little bit easier, but they have plenty of work in front of them. If you're just joining us on this Friday night, Modern Day over Harrison for the moment by a score of 20-6, 10:28 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 1st and 15 for the Wildcats. Shoy right back to side. This has worked nicely tonight. He's lost the football. I think he got it back though. It took a bounce right in front of him off his chest. He hopped right back on top of it.
And that has been the difference in this ball game. That's twice now that Modern Day has fumbled the ball. They've been able to recover their own loose ball, something that Harrison has not been able to do. Picked up maybe 2 on the play, spotted at the 47. So now 2nd down and about 13.
Time the factor. Now under 10 minutes here to go in the 4th. Wide outs either side again for Shoy. He's back to pass. Plenty of time. Right up the middle. Loose ball intercepted. Again, it's Merriweather. He's earned it tonight, Doug.
Well, we said in the first half that we had not seen the last of the turnovers, and they are proving exactly that here in the second half. Fumble's a problem for the Harrison Warriors. Interception for the Modern Day Wildcats. And just when you think with the fumble recovery, Modern Day has been able to maybe get an opportunity to put a nail in the coffin. Harrison comes back. Now they're going to get another chance starting at their own 34.
It's going to happen here for the Warriors. It's getting late. 9.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. They are down 20-6, down by 14. Lander not as much time. Second time deep. Bennett tries to get himself open. Nice job by Bennett. He didn't have one but two to contend with downfield, looking inside the 35.
You kind of expect that with the big passing play that we got just before the end of the third quarter. It was good for 49 yards. It was man-on-man coverage basically then. But you could see David Choi back there along with Jason Foles. 2-on-1. You could see the ball a little bit underthrown where they had to come back, and usually when that happens, the defensive secondary is going to have a better play on the catch.
So a big 2nd and 10 here for Harrison. Trying to stay unbeaten. Some work to do here. Lander from the eye. Lander again, 3rd time deep. Different number downfield, juggling, holding on, lost it. Greg Stewart, 2nd call tonight. Would have been big.
That was a great play defensively for one by Jason Foles. He got a hand on the ball after Stewart had got behind him by about a step. You could see the fingertips kind of had an effect on the ball, but Craig stayed right with it, had it in his hands, was juggling as he was going down to the ground, and when he made contact with the ground, the ball popped loose.
Drop balls, just getting inside to score a touchdown. Turnovers back and forth. This has been a pretty good football game. More so, I guess, if you go to modern-day high school. 3rd down and 10. Lander wants to make it happen here. Lander again ran out of time. Pass complete. Going to have the 1st down. They needed it into the hands of Chad Lamar.
Really the first time we've had a chance to call Chad's number tonight. A couple opportunities back in that 1st quarter with rushing. But other than that, he's been kind of quiet offensively. One of the big guys as far as the middle linebackers defensively. But you can see the passing game starting to get a little bit more of a detrimental point now for Harrison. He had 4 receivers out on patterns that time.
1st and 10 here for the Warriors. 49-yard line. Expect Lander will pass a little bit, right through the middle. Pass complete, quickly, 1st down.
Pass complete to number 82.
Matt Elliott again.
And the tight end, Matt Elliott, was good for a 21-yard touchdown back in that last part of the 1st quarter. The only touchdown for Harrison at this point. But another 1st down inside the modern-day 40.
8:36 remaining. Harrison needs 2 touchdowns to tie. Deeper again. Bennett threw a couple. Again, he's trying to shake off double coverage, and that time 3 on him. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Warriors.
I think that's a good job defensively by Mater Dei. They know that to get back in this ball game, Harrison is going to have to put some points on the board in a hurry.
And they're going to have to go to the air.
You don't want to get burned deep, and that's one of the reasons you're seeing double coverage back there. Foles and Choi again.
2nd down and 10 here for Harrison. No scoring yet here in the 2nd half. Option back here to Kendall Wilson. Did not fool the modern-day Wildcats. Back behind the line of scrimmage.
Good read defensively. The quarterback option, you saw Lander go back to the area of where the left end is going to be. Got the quick pitch back to Wilson right there. But one of the linebackers, Nathan Gable, did not bite on the option, stayed right with Wilson. Actually pushed him back a couple yards, so now you're looking at 3rd and a long 11.
Lander again faced here with a must-do situation. Pitch to the outside, tried to hold on, lost the football. I'm not sure he ever had possession of that football. Kendall Wilson down below.
Pitch a little bit behind Kendall, and you can see he had to stop and come back to get the ball. He did a good job just recovering it. You can see Mater Dei had 2 players right around there, but he was quick to pounce on it, push them back to about the 46, so they lose 6 on the play. But more importantly now, 4th down. At this point in the game, you almost have to go for it.
Got to go for it. 7:15, and that's counting. You're down by 14. Biggest play of the game so far for the Harrison Warriors. Got to make it happen here. Expect maybe to go long. 4th and 16 for Lander. Fakes the handoff. I don't know if it fooled anybody. into the hands of Chad Lamar, and he picks up the first down to about the 20-yard line.
Looking deep, they had two receivers, but they also had the backs coming out of the backfield in the flat pattern. And that goes back to that defensive coverage I talked about earlier. You don't want to get burned deep if you're modern day, so you're going to push everybody back a little bit. You're not really so much worried about Harrison picking up a first down because they're still outside the 20, but that's going to give them a little bit more momentum now. First and 10 from the modern day 21.
Well, since that touchdown, probably the most impressive drive we've seen so far. Frank Will wants to talk about it. We do the same. We take a timeout on a Friday night at Wrights Bowl. Modern day 20, Harrison 6. High school football's Friday night on TV 52. Harrison Warriors trailing 20-6 to the modern day Wildcats. Lander, a little bit more trouble. Shakes it, goes deep. Inside the 10. He held on. I didn't think he had the football. He held on. Big one for the Warriors.
Chad Lamar again out of the backfield. You can see he went up. There was two modern day defenders right around him.
Defending on the play was Shoy.
David Shoy on the secondary coverage right there, the main one. But a good job by Chad. Gets him inside the 10. Now first and goal for Harrison from the 9.
Here's Wilson. Wilson past the 5. Lost the football on the goal line, but I think, yeah, ground can't cause a fumble.
Very close as far as breaking that plane. And you can see as soon as he hit, the ball came loose, but the officials were there to spot it. About on the 2-yard line, pick up a 7.
Couple of yards to go here. Warriors need this. Went on 4th and 16. That worked. They find themselves right here. 2 yards to go. 5:50 remaining. Inside. Touchdown. Harrison Warriors.
Kendall Wilson, his first touchdown tonight. Touchdown number 12 on the season. When we talk about how important the extra point game can be, now it's an 8-point game. If you're Harrison, do you elect to go for 1 here and then maybe try to get the ball back, score a touchdown, or go for 2?
I would.
Looks like they're going to try to go for 2 on this possession.
And if they don't get it here, you're going to have to do it later. That's barring, of course, if Modern Day doesn't score again. Why not? You got the momentum going, I guess. For the 2-point conversion. Try to get back where they had it lost earlier. Dropped the football. Stopped short. That's a 3-man wall. But it makes it more interesting with 5:48 remaining. 8 points separate. It's Modern Day 20, Harrison 12. High school football on TV 52.
EMC.
I'm Darren Smith with Doug Emig back at Wrights Bowl. 20-12 right down to the wire again. Familiar signs of high school football here on TV 52 in 1993.
And if you're a modern day fan, you kind of expect to see that running game come out and try to establish a lot of movement of the ball up the field, try to run some of that time off the clock. 5:42 left in the 4th quarter. And for the most part tonight, as far as the offense is concerned for Modern Day, they have been able to do the job. It's been basically a running game, which is kind of surprising coming into tonight's game.
I think Saib's going to be busy on this drive. Chew up that clock. Well, Shoy going to take this one himself, and it's back for a big loss.
I think that was a broken play right there because David turned around and expected to see a back coming along his side. Nobody was there, so he came around the end by himself and really had nowhere to go. A flag in the secondary. Probably in that area it's going to be a personal foul. You can see the officials getting together right now. It's going to be a dead ball. Personal foul against Harrison.
They have not had the share of the breaks tonight. Not at all.
Well, this gets to a point in the game, and we talked about it a little bit at halftime, frustration. You don't want to get too down on yourselves and start getting yourself into trouble. You had a big loss right there from an offensive standpoint for Modern Day. You had them backed up. Lost about 3 or 4 in the play, so they were looking at 2nd and about 14. Now they get another first down.
Here come the Wildcats. 5:02 left. They lead Harrison by a score of 20-12.
43.
You've got to be impressed with Wildcat football. 35-24 against Bosse last week, and look at this. Even though it's not over yet, and even should they lose this game, another impressive showing.
Well, I think that they believed in themselves, and that was a big key, and you look at what they've been able to do to this point. Now you've got the referee coming over explaining what the situation is to the Mater Dei coaching staff. But getting back to their season to this point, 1-3, obviously you're not going to be very pleased with that as far as your overall record, but I think that's something that they've kind of gotten used to the point. It's more or less believe in yourself, don't lose confidence. If we keep trying the way we've been playing, one of these weeks we're going to start to get some breaks.
I said back during week number 1, this was going to be a very balanced year.
It seems like each year it gets a little bit more evenly matched. You're not going to have the dominant teams. You've got Harrison 4-0, Bosse 4-0 this week as far as the SIAC is concerned. Bosse on top 4-0, Harrison at 3-0, Castle and Wright's 2-1, and then everybody else 1-3 or 0-3.
Brett Seib there on the carry to about the 45-yard line. Keep you abreasted of the time. 4:49 left. Mater Dei leading Harrison by a score of 20-6. You think that Memorial game was big for them? Check out this one.
Clock continues to run. Harrison still has all 3 of their timeouts left, so it's going to be interesting to see when they start using those. Obviously, Mater Dei is going to keep the ball on the ground to chew up that clock.
2nd down and 8 for Mater Dei. Can put it away with a score here. Well, they can eat up enough time and force Lander again to the air to move quick. David Shoy in trouble. Had to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Almost got caught up. And now it'll be 3rd down at about 8.
You don't want to give Harrison an opportunity to get the ball back, but you can see that right now, more importantly than chewing the clock up, you need to pick up another 1st down to maintain that possession.
Foles back in there. Playing from the sidelines, Emge takes a seat. 3rd down and 8 here for Mater Dei. Another good football game. Nothing decided yet. Shoy hands it to Seib. Seib is stopped.
Out across the 45 to about the 48. Gained about 3 on the play, so they're going to be about 5 yards short.
About the 48.
And really now you're forced into a punting situation. The clock continues to run. 3:20. Harrison's going to get the ball back, but they're not going to have a lot of time.
Lander and Bennett inside the 25 in the kicking game by Shoy. A bad kick. Takes a Mater Dei bounce right there inside the 20. So here's your last call for the Harrison Warriors. They need the 6, and they need a 2-point conversion just to tie. 3:03 remaining.
Their ability to move the ball, especially here in the 3rd quarter, they didn't do a lot back in the 1st half. Here in the 2nd half, they have done it through the air. You look at Lamar coming out of the backfield. He's got 3 or 4 catches here in the 2nd half. Bennett has picked up 3 or 4 as well, so you kind of expect to see that same type of attack from the Warriors. And again, for the Mater Dei Wildcats, you want to make sure that you're not burned deep.
That is Bennett. Impressive over the 30. 1st down here for the Warriors. Some food for thought. We have been covering high school football for 4 years now on 52. Not one of these games have gone into overtime.
Picked up 12 and another Harrison 1st down. Play that we saw work a couple times back in the 2nd quarter. Now they're sticking with the running game.
Here's Wilson, and Wilson has the 1st down and some more. He has that speed. He's still going. Wilson, nobody to beat. Harrison now 2 points short. It did not take long. Harrison right back at you.
And just like that, where Mater Dei thought they were in control, and again, I think I was a little surprised as much as Mater Dei that we didn't see Harrison go to the air.
I thought so too. We were talking about it while Mater Dei was on offense. Lander's going to have to go to the air quickly. 2:25 remaining. Here is the biggest play of the game for the Warriors.
67-yard touchdown run
By Kendall Wilson, 2:25 left.
And we talk about the importance of the extra point. This is a big one right here. They're trailing by 2.
Is it ever? Let's keep it here with 2:25 remaining. What a great football game again. Did I pick them this year or what? We've had one great game after another.
I think a lot of it has to do that I'm here with you. The first week I was gone, and you saw what happened there.
You're right. But that was one of our city teams against one of those out-of-town teams, so we didn't mind it as much. 20-18 in favor of Mater Dei, and Harrison needs the 2-point conversion to tie. Mater Dei will get the football back with about 2:20 to go. Whoever thought these two teams here tonight would put on this kind of show?
Well, I think one thing, you got to give Harrison a lot of credit, and we talked at halftime that they couldn't get down on themselves, and that was one of the things I'm sure that Mitch Marsh and his coaching staff talked about, tried to express to the kids that, hey, we didn't play that well in the first half, but we still got 24 minutes. We need to come out, start moving the ball, be a little more confident out there, and right now they have not given up. They continue to move the ball efficiently. A big touchdown run right there by Whistle. Now a timeout taken by Harrison.
I expected it. There are not many fans to our far sides really sitting down.
Another timeout on the
This
field
is it.
goal by
I expected another timeout here. We'll talk some more about what's coming up tomorrow night here on TV 52 as Robin Cooper looks to go to 3-0 as he takes on the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Impressive last week with the Evansville Aces. They're out at ARAD tomorrow at 1:30. You'll see the game at 10:30 right here. Aces football tomorrow, Doug.
And I tell you, if folks out there don't have anything to do, even though conditions around here have not been the best as far as outside athletics, take a chance and go out there and see the Aces. They played a great game last week against Kentucky Westland. They've got 6 home games this year.
Yep.
Tomorrow will be the second of those 6. But Chad Albano, 99 yards, 4 touchdowns last week. Eric Fish, very confident. And you look at what they've got coming back from last year, they're going to have another good season under Robin Cooper.
Aces football tomorrow at 1:30. ARAD McCutcheon. You'll see it here at 10:30. This is the ball game for the Harrison Warriors. They need 2 here to tie. Lander running out of time, wide open. We are tied at 20. We are tied at 20.
Found the tight end, Matt Elliott, in the back of the end zone, really all by himself. Big 2-point conversion, ties this game up as 20, as Darren mentioned, 2:25 left.
Harrison, 20.
Now Harrison with the kickoff. Mater Dei, one last opportunity.
2:25 to go. I said I have not seen overtime since arriving here at TV 52 on TV 52. It has been decided in regulation. Harrison leads this series 22-10 with 2 ties over the years, back when they played the ties. 35th meeting ever shapes up to be a dandy. We are tied at 20. Mater Dei gonna have to work quick, and this was one of the attacks, pluses, if you will, for the Wildcats coming into every season. They're a great passing game, and they can move the ball quick. 20-20. When it appeared that maybe Mater Dei was going to pull off the biggest upset, they still may. They'll have to work a little bit harder for it. They'll begin here inside the 10. Eric Waniger inside the 25. So here come the Mater Dei Wildcats with 2:18 remaining. Doug.
Big opportunity now for Mater Dei. They have played very good football up to this point, and you look at what Harrison has been able to do, especially here in the 4th quarter. 2 touchdowns, both by Kendall Wilson. Gives him 13 now in the season. The first one, 5:48 left to go in the game. A 2-yard run that put them within 8 points. They went for a 2-point conversion and failed. Now a 67-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion good. We're tied at 20. Clock runs now 2 minutes. And look for Mater Dei probably to go to the air again, sticking to the ground game though aside this time.
We've seen so many turnovers. You're wondering if a game like this will be decided on something like that. 1:49 remaining. Doug, you have the rule book open to the page of overtime. Read it to me.
Well, there's not much to read. It's a period of overtimes where each club gets the ball at the 10-yard line, and you kind of change ends as far as you get 4 downs to get it in. The other team gets an opportunity. You go until one makes it and one doesn't.
We'll be here all night until they decide it. If we go to overtime, 1:49 remaining with a timeout on the field. This game is tied at 20.
Harrison took the timeout, so each ball club now has 1 timeout remaining. 1:49. Pickup of maybe 1 on that last play by Sibes. 2nd down and 9 for Mater Dei when play resumes.
Are we in a ratings period by any chance?
No.
Too bad.
Not till November. Never seems to work the right way, does it?
2nd and 9 here for the Wildcats. Clock stop, 1:49 remaining on this Friday night. No high school football on the area tomorrow. Not a lot of coaches like playing on Saturdays anyway. All the action has been played tonight in the fog and the wet grounds. Like I said, the rain has let up somewhat. That is short of Jim Fetcher, intended for around the 40-yard line. Clock stop, 1:44 remaining. Look at this, 3rd down and 9. You don't want to give Harrison the football back anywhere close. We just saw what they did on 2 plays deeper.
And they have been able to score the last 2 possessions that they've had the ball. As I mentioned earlier, both of those coming in the 4th quarter. They started the first drive at their own 34-yard line. Wilson with his first of 2 touchdowns, a 2-yard scamper with 5:48 left. And then it only took them 2 plays. They started at their own 20, capped off by a 67-yard run by Wilson.
1:44 left. Here's the important 3rd down and 9. And as expected, Shoy is to pass. Out of the reach. Overshot him again. Looking for Jason Foles. Harrison's going to get the football back.
Play number 31, Sissel.
Now the important part of the extra teams as far as punting and also punt return is your coverage down there. We've seen a couple times Mater Dei has had good coverage on the punt and really able to stop Harrison before they can try to get good field position. Interesting to see that Harrison not sending anybody in as far as maybe trying to get a block.
Excellent field position. 1:32 is plenty of time for this team. Harrison trying to come from behind and settle this one in regulation. Again, we are tied at 20, 1st down and 10 for the Harrison Warriors.
And you really don't know what to expect right now from Harrison. We figured the last time they were going to go to the air, it took them 2 running plays. Now a little bit slow for the offense to get out on the field for the Warriors. But as Darren mentioned, pretty good field position. The ball spotted about the 43.
Ground game, air game, I don't know what to call. They surprised us, particularly here in the 4th quarter. Lander several times going long. Wilson finding the hole. 1st and 10, 1:32 remaining. Game tied at 20. In motion through the back again is Matt Elliott. He has been impressive tonight.
If I was guessing, I'd say they're going to stick to the ground game first play, and that shows you what I know.
Deeper. Pass complete. Pass complete for the Warriors.
Sean Bennett again, and you wonder how Lander got loose to get that pass off, and downfield in the secondary, you wonder how Bennett came up with the catch.
Oh my, they've been trying that several times tonight, and when you need it to work the most, it does. They are inside the 5.
Big play right there. Pick up of 39 yards, now 1st and goal for Harrison. They've got a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight.
When it counts the most, time ticking away. Here again is Bennett trying to fight his way inside the goal line. He's held short, still inside that 5. Clock stop. No, they'll keep rolling it. Now under a minute.
Came very close. Looks like they're going to spot the ball about the 2-yard line. So a pickup of 2 on the play, 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Now the clock under 50 seconds.
Want to do it in regulation. That's probably more on Mater Dei's side than that of stopping him here. They're going to stop him here, or Harrison is going to go to 5-0. They've worked for a touchdown, Warriors. A classic come from behind. $26-20, Harrison.
Sean Bennett, the ball carrier right there, 35 seconds left. And I tell you what a gutsy performance by the Warriors here in the second half, especially here in the fourth quarter.
Elliott to do the holding.
Point after, and Mater Dei will have all of about 35 seconds to pull off what Frank Will in the paper this morning called a miracle. That is up. That is good. 27-20.
Wow.
5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Just when you kind of thought that Mater Dei had things going their way, especially after a scoreless third quarter, and for the most part, continued to keep the ball for long periods of time. Again, you look at the turnover situation. Fumbles a problem for Harrison. They have been able to overcome those. The interceptions are the one thing that sticks out for the Mater Dei Wildcats.
It's not over yet. There's still 35 seconds remaining. The way this one's gone, I wouldn't be surprised at all. 27-20 Harrison. If they hold on here, they go to 5-0. Mater Dei led through most of this half by a score of 20-6. Harrison had awoken. Last chance here for the Mater Dei Wildcats. Waniger at the 20. Need good position here to about the 25, same place as before.
Where he's down on about the 25.
28 seconds to go. This would be the miracle Frank Will was talking about if they can reach the tie here.
One timeout left for Mater Dei. You kind of expect them to go to the passing game, and you can see by the defensive alignment by Harrison, much like we've seen Mater Dei all night, they're playing very deep. They're not going to allow any receivers to get deep on them.
Pass complete. Quickly greeted with a face mask. Chad Lamar held on too much. He caught it about the 30-yard line. They're going to put him up about the 45 with 11 seconds left.
Placement of the ball about the 28, and you can see Chad was just trying to grab onto something so Foles would not get away and be able to get out of bounds. Officials right there. One had a little trouble getting his flag out of his pocket, but then both got him out eventually. Spot the ball all the way up about the 44.
11 seconds left. Mater Dei wants to talk about it. Maybe 2 plays left here, Doug, in 11 seconds. Both times, of course, throwing.
Well, you're going to have to go deep, and for one thing, you're going to have to get it close to the out-of-bounds line or along the sideline, so if a catch is made, you can get out of bounds and stop the clock. You're not looking for anything in the middle of the field. You just use your last timeout up. And trailing by 7, obviously you need to get downfield in a hurry. 11 seconds is not a lot of time.
Ball is going to be right there on the 44-yard line. I would have to say this goes down as the best as far as television viewing goes on TV 52 this fall, so far this year. Back and forth. For a while, it looked like Mater Dei was going to do it.
A couple of good comebacks fall a little bit short, especially of this nature, trailing 20-6 heading into the fourth quarter. Harrison has been very powerful, moving the ball very well. Shotgun formation for Mater Dei, triplets set wide.
That is Nathan Gable. Stronger passing arm into a pack. It's all over. The Harrison Warriors, oh, did they have to work for this one, my friends. Have beaten the Mater Dei Wildcats. And although we don't pull for favorites up here, Doug, I've got to feel for Frank Will and his Cats. They thought they had the biggest upset of the 1993 season, and they fall in the final minutes. 27-20, almost like they beat the Memorial Tigers a couple of weeks ago. They had to work for it. Harrison is still undefeated. 27-20 over Mater Dei.
It was not easy for the Warriors, and like you said, it's very tough for Mater Dei to play basically 3 quarters the way that they did. They were in control of the ball game for the most part, but then all of a sudden, here comes that second win from the Warriors, and you got to give Harrison a lot of credit. They never quit.
27-20, that is our final. We wrap it up. Eyes squeak out in the final minutes.
Yeah, we just played a hard second half, and things things worked out for us.
How about halftime? What did you guys talk about? It looked like the biggest upset of the year was about to happen.
The coaches said that we got to live up to their number 5 ranking. They said we had to play our hardest in the second half, let all hang out.
And then you guys came out in the third quarter, and it didn't go your way. And then you turned it around in the fourth quarter. And a lot of great plays by yourself, Lamar, a time or two, Lander, and Wilson.
Yeah, me, Lamar, Wilson, we're seniors here since our last year, and we didn't want to go down like this against Marday. We just give it our hardest shot.
Sean, great one tonight. Go enjoy it.
Thanks a lot.
That's Sean Bennett. I'm Darren Smith. We wrap it up at right here tonight.
Well, I think if this game obviously would have been 3 quarters, it would have been the modern-day Wildcats. But you look at the way Harrison came out and played in that fourth quarter. They never gave up. They never quit, and I think that says a lot about the players, a lot about the coaching staff.
How about the modern-day Wildcats? You have to feel for them, but in a way, this team played an excellent football game against the 5th-ranked team in Class 5A.
I think they came out and did exactly what they wanted to do, maybe even surprised themselves a little bit by the way that they were able to move the ball in the first half. Passing was there, but really the big reason that they had the big lead was the running game. Brett Seib had an excellent job. Jeff McDermott also did a very good job, and they basically controlled this game for 3 quarters. But Harrison came out. We talked last week with the Memorial loss, probably one of the better 1-3 teams in the state. I'd say modern day is one of the better 1-4 teams around.
Right now it's 27-20, and Harrison stays unbeaten on this Friday night. That brings to a conclusion our coverage of high school football here in week number 5. Doug and I next talk to you tomorrow night at 10:30 from Arad McCutcheon, the return of Aces football. It's Harrison.